Hey, I'm William Adoasi, founder of the watch brand Vitae London, and here are 5 things I wish someone told me when I was starting out. Point number 1 is to seek community. I found since starting my journey, since starting the business, that one of the most powerful assets for me has been my network, and finding like-minded people who are building something from the ground up. It can be very lonely, it can be very isolating when building a business, because there's never certainty. You never know what's going to happen next. You're never sure what direction to go in next. But building and seeking a great community can be super helpful in overcoming this, because people who have maybe gone a little bit further than you, or who may have progressed in specific areas, can help and give you the pointer and the encouragement that you need. And it's also great to know that your problems aren't just your problems. Other people are facing similar things. They're not so unique to yourself, and that can give you the encouragement and impetus to keep going and to keep pushing on. My second point is to always keep the vision front and center. I think having the long-term vision at the forefront enables you to push on through the short-term hurdles. So many times we forget our why, we forget why we decided to build the businesses we've built. We forget the purpose behind it. We forget the journey we've already been on to create what we've built. But if you can keep the vision front and center, if you can keep your why at the front and make that the most important thing, it will enable you to push on through the obstacles, through the hard times. So yeah, always keep the vision, always keep the why at the forefront. The next point I would give is to seek balance. To seek balance. I think many of us, when we are starting our businesses, we can go in 24/7, 365 days a year. And as good as that sounds and as good as that feels in the early days, after a while you realize that you can't actually perform to your optimum level if you're not resting, if you're not relaxing, if you're not finding time to unwind, if you're not finding time to seek out the things you enjoy outside of the business. So I would definitely say, to be the best version of yourself, to get the best results, I would encourage people to seek a good balance, a good work-life balance where you do find time for rest, you do find time for community, you do find time for hobbies, because in all of those things, they give you the empowerment and the energy to push on even stronger with whatever you're building. My fourth point will be to fight imposter syndrome. I think anyone, when building a vision in an area you've never built before, you've never encountered before, it's so easy for imposter syndrome to settle in. But I would just encourage people to fight that as much as possible. And you can fight that by remembering how far you've come and knowing that you are meant to be where you are today, that you've had to overcome so much to be where you are. So you're not an imposter. You've actually got a right to be where you are. And I think if you have that mindset, it will make the journey easier, it will make you stronger, it will enable you to push on through more, because you believe you're meant to be where you are. When you don't believe that, when you doubt that, the hurdles that come up against you, it's easier for them to flatten you, it's easier for them to discourage you, because you don't believe you're meant to be where you are. So yeah, I would just encourage people to fight imposter syndrome. Always remember the wins, even the smallest of wins. Make a note of them, because they can build up the case in your mind that you're meant to be where you are. And that's so strong and powerful in reaching the new heights of where you want to go. And the last point I would give would be to free yourself from entitlement. This is the fifth point. Free yourself from entitlement. I think the minute you start to live like nobody owes you anything, it's such an empowering thing to do. I remember starting off with my business and expecting my friends and family to automatically buy my watches, buy my products. And initially, I had some people do that, but I realized there wasn't an overwhelming response of that. And at first, due to having a bit of an entitled mindset, I was a bit like, why aren't they doing it? And then once I realized that they work very hard for their money, they wake up, They go to work, they come home. Every penny that they've got, they've earned. So I have no entitlement over what they do with those funds, whether they're my brother, my sister, my cousin, my friend, no matter who they are, they've worked for that money. So I have no entitlement to tell them what to do with it. And once I understood and I freed myself from entitlement, one, it made me more grateful when they did support because I realized that they didn't have to. So it made me a much more grateful person. And secondly, it pushed me to work harder because I knew, as I said, I had no entitlement to receive their money. So if I was going to build a business that was going to scale, that was going to reach even beyond my friends and family, I had to build a product, an offering that was better than my competitors, that was reasonably priced. I had to market well, I had to brand well. And once I understood that, and once I knew that for myself, and I dropped that kind of the scales of entitlement, it enabled me to push on to much greater heights because I had to earn every penny that was going to come in. So those are the 5 things I wish I knew before I became a founder. Thank you.